right, Bulldog Nation, welcome back to Inside the Doghouse. I am your host, Forrest Vernier, alongside William Morris, and today we've got something really excited lined up. We're talking all things equestrian this afternoon, the strength, the skill, and the bond between rider and horse that makes this sport so unique. Joining me today are two incredible student athletes from the Adrian College Equestrian team, Lauren Bartkiewitz and Christopher Warwick. They've been putting in the work this season, representing the Bulldogs with pride and passion. We'll be talking about their journey in the sport and what it's like to compete for Adrian College, and of course, we'll have some fun questions along the way. So, Lauren and Chris, thank you very much for joining us here this afternoon. Now, to start off, can you tell us a little bit about your role on the Adrian College Equestrian team, and what events do you typically compete in?
Yeah, so I'm actually one of our two captains for the team, and so I have a lot of the behind the scenes, like logistical running practices, making sure everything is all set with horses for the practices and the riders, and knowing like what riders are riding what horses that day and all of that. And then when we get to our actual shows, I have a lot of the managing of the team and making sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to, that our horses are doing what they're supposed to and getting to the right spots. And I show in the highest division for our horsemanship and our reining, and I'm the only one on the team in that division right now, but we should have one other rider getting there pretty soon.
And I am on the lowest division on the team. So I show in beginner. This is my second season, but I wasn't able to make all the competitions last year because I am a dual sport athlete. And for like practice wise, I just show up to practice, or Chris sends me or sends our group chat the list of the horses you ride. You get there, you do your barn chores, so you muck your stall, fill water, groom and lunge, and then just practice.
All right, so yeah, kind of just building off of that then, you guys, what would you say like a typical week of training looks like for you both kind of in the saddle and then out of the saddle as well?
So in the saddle, it really depends on what horse you ride that day. Everyone has to do 2 hour-long practices a week, or sorry, two 2 hour-long practices a week. And we typically try to, in those practices, have people switch horses and get on different horses just to help get more exposure. And then really what we work on just depends on how the last show went and then what horse we're on each day. So we have a couple higher end horses that are really nice that we'll put people on and kind of practice more of the showing part of it. And then we have a couple that we can do more of the how do I need to maneuver and ride this horse through to get it to do what I want horses. And so it's really just you never ride the same horse every day, even if you are on the same horse every day.
Yeah, I would say outside of the saddle would be more of like we have to make sure we get in a lift of some sort of activity twice a week within the gym. So a lot of times that's focused on like core because it really engages your core a lot while you're riding, and like legs of some sort, really just like staying one with the horse. So just making sure like we're taking that time outside of our 2 hour practices a week to make sure we're getting in the gym and still staying physically active and like fit and making sure we're getting stronger.
All right, now, so how do you guys mentally and physically prepare for a big competition?
I think it depends on like who you are as a person. For me, mentally, like it's a competition and it's important time to show and to show like what I've been practicing and what I've been working on. But at the end of the day, a judge could catch me in a bad moment and then that bumps me down. So not thinking too much of like this performance really wrecked my entire show, especially because we show two shows in one day. So we have like an AM show and a PM show. And if I place badly in the AM show, then if my attitude is bad for the PM show, then I'm just setting myself up for failure.
I actually kind of go the opposite from Lauren is I'm very much like I'm pretty easygoing at practices and when I'm riding, but once we get to the show days, I'm like, okay, I need to turn it up here. I kind of make a mental switch and just go, I need to really show everything we've been practicing on and show how good of a rider I am. And then, like, occasionally a judge will catch me in a bad spot, and normally that can be devastating, but I just keep myself in the I need to keep doing my job and showing this. And a lot of times it actually kind of pays out for me, and the judge goes, all right, he did make this mistake, but also he kept showing through it. He kept showing, I'm going to move him back up a couple placings and reward him for that.
So then, what would you say, kind of with those placings and stuff? What's some of your proudest moments here representing Adrian?
This is a little bit easier for me. The past 3 years, I have gone to nationals and competed individually, and so definitely my national placings. The past 2 years, I have been the champion for my division at semifinals, so I'm really proud to bring Adrian's name to that, and I'm really looking forward to what this year brings. I had not a strong start, but not a weak start. It was just kind of a start to this season, so I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season and starting to turn it up and really get that strong national contender that I have been in the past, and hope that I can make it for a fourth year to our nationals.
Um, I guess thinking back, I only went to 5 shows last year, but gained I only placed in 3 of the shows. So I guess when I placed first place last year was pretty exciting because I think it was like my first show, and I was able to do well. I so yeah, I guess just in general being able to compete for Adrian, but also like new experiences each show. So
From what I've heard before, the equestrian sport, it seems to demand a strong connection between rider and horse. How do you guys build that bond and trust with your horses?
So our type of showing is a little bit different from that aspect because it's random draw. So each show in our region, so each team in our region brings horses, or like whoever hosts the show is required to bring the certain amount of horses to the show, so we have enough for each classes and stuff. So before each show starts, we randomly draw a horse and you just ride that horse for the show. So it's not as much as a connection, but more knowing more on how fundamentals work and taking this this horse and seeing what they give you and being able to figure out how you to ride them. Would you say, Chris?
Yeah, building off of that, we talk about it a lot in practice. We kind of have just a all-encompassing term for this, and we call it feel, and it's just like feeling what the horse is doing, knowing like what changes you're going to make and how that will affect the horse and how it's moving and what it's doing. And so when you ride the same horse every day, like if it's your own personal horse, then obviously that helps build the trust and connection. But with the draw-based event, then it's a lot of just knowing and feeling what the horse is going to do and kind of being able to predict how they're going to react to what you do as a rider.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that it was like a random draw like that. Would you say that's like one of the bigger challenges that you guys kind of have to deal with, or is there kind of other stuff that, like other challenges that you have to go and deal with?
That's definitely one of the big challenges. Personally, I love the draw-based showing. I love the random, you draw a horse, you get on it, you get to go ride it, because I just want to ride as many horses as possible. I take a lot of knowledge with me from every horse that I ride, and so being able to ride a diverse background of horse and understanding them really helps improve me as a rider and improve my future riding on these other horses. Sometimes I'll draw the same horse and then it's less of, okay, I need to figure everything out about this horse, and more so, this is the information I've already learned from the horse. How can I refine that to make it even better?
I would agree with Chris. I think the draw base does add challenges, but I think the biggest challenge it adds is mental. I think a lot within this sport is a mental battle, thinking like not letting this horse that you draw like be the thing that affects, like, since we're a smaller region and there's not a lot of the horses we see are the same. So when you see a certain horse that you like, you draw and you know this horse acts up, or you know this horse has a bouncy trot, like not letting that mentally affect the ride that you're, or the show that you showing. So it's just not letting your mind win the battle.
All right, great answers from both you guys there. Now, how has being part of the equestrian team helped you grow, not only as an athlete but as people?
I mean, for me, it's a lot of just working together and communication. It takes a lot to work together and communicate as a team and be a cohesive unit like our team is. And so I really do feel like I've learned more about how to be an effective communicator and how to work with people in my time on the equestrian team than I have about riding horses. And that's not to say that I haven't learned anything about riding horses. That's just to say I've learned so much more about how to really work with a group of my peers to be the best that we can be and communicate that to them, that that's what I want, like them to also be able to do, is to reach the best of their potential.
I would say another factor that like influences my life from the team is our coaches. I feel like their attitudes, their Jody and Troy Prime, they both work they both work a job and then they do this as well. So just like their attitude, especially like at practices and at shows and stuff, I think they are a big factor that has like changed the way I think about things, like not taking things too hard. Yeah, I just think they're a big part of my life now that I wouldn't have had.
And then also what kind of advice would you give to people listening who are interested in maybe joining the equestrian team here at Adrian?
Just reach out. We have a Instagram, Adrian College Equestrian Team. Reach out on that, and then we'll get in touch with you. If you're really serious about thinking about joining the team, we can have you come out to the barn, talk with some team members, get some experience on the horse. Really just the hardest part of all of it is reaching out and asking us, because we always are looking for more people to join the team and more people to get into the sport. Lauren actually joined the team that way.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'd say don't be afraid. Like I came to Adrian to play basketball, and I have ridden like horses, but not in this way at all, just like for fun. So my whole freshman year, I'd be like, oh, I should do it. Like, oh, I think I should do it, but I just never did until my sophomore year. I was like, okay, like I'll text somebody, I'll do it. So don't be scared. You never know what could happen. So if you are thinking about it, like definitely reach out. So yeah, you never know.
So to follow up on that, Lauren, so did you have any equestrian, just for clarification, did you have any equestrian experience before you got to college?
Yes. So I worked at a summer camp where we like rode trail horses, and we like would go on trail rides with kids. So I have like ridden horses, and I've been